We are receiving reports that the Jeonosis deity is attacking the Gimian Union. Over 2,000 casualties, $300 million in debt expected. Jeonosis has killed Necromantic, and this seems like the brink of collapse. How did this happen? And how did we let it happen? A major reason for the events that took place on the 29th would be the fact that just 13 days earlier the assassination of our ruler had happened. After that, and with the body soon missing, propaganda about the government spread like wildfire about was the body stolen by the government, or was the assassination planned by the government?
So what you're saying is that you think that the government pretended to have the body disappear, that it was a hoax, it was a stage, they meant to do that. Yes, that's exactly what I mean. I think I know it because there is empirical evidence that shows that that is what's happened. Can you show us this, or tell us how? Of course I can. So first off, I want to go into the legitimacy of how did the body get dragged off the stage if only governmental personnel is allowed to be there? How was there a sniper in the building in the first place? Why aren't there any security guards? And in the midst of everything, why was there still no security cameras, no security footage? This is all what needs to be discussed. You bring a good point, but I still want to ask you, what makes you think that the government do that? I think it goes mostly with a lot of propaganda and to show how the Shawns are bad, because I feel like they play a lot on the Shonen's hoax, because therefore earlier we've had demonstrations of the Shonen wanting to get rid of them and all. So I think the government found a way to do it, and I think it's been against our moral code. So what you're saying is that they would have killed our own leader, the chosen one, for the sake of propaganda. It sounds crazy, I know, but what else would be there? Are you just saying that these random group of people just shot this ultimate leader and took him out and threw him in some well-versed well for no reason? You bring a good point. I want to thank you for coming on here today and discussing this. I know that a lot of people are against your claims, your group, and your name. I want to thank you a lot, and I thank you for letting me be on your radio show. Good day. Good day.
The economy was also in shambles. It didn't help that because of the birth of Jeonosis, people had disappeared during the night. With the economy in shambles, we didn't have the money for military fundings of any sort. So when the Great Battle of 2010 occurred, the military was powerless against Jeonosis, leading only the force of Necromantic to stop him. After the whole battle, there was a total of 365,733,000 gendos needed to be paid, and a gendo is worth over 15 times the worth of a US dollar. So we had to resort to separate fundings from someone else. That is to be discussed at a later time. But it's definitely a stable fact that the birth of Jeonosis and Necromantic that came from the assassination rocked the situation a lot without our favor. A big reason why we, in the long run, still lost. director of Channel 63 has contributed to the research of Jeonosis has been far and near. Well, a big misconception is that Channel 63 is just all just one big thing, that they're all united. No, no, no. There are multiple, many different departments for Channel 63. There's the documentaries, and then there's the sub partners, and then there's shonen news. There's tons and tons, and then there are all the third parties which are outside Channel 63, like the shonen news sponsor, which we don't really focus on those. Those are limited funding, but Channel 63 is not united in the slightest bit. And a major thing that is bad about that is that no department can really get along. Shonen News and the documentary department, the one that has this documentary and the other documentary, are very upset with each other, since Shonen News has other links with the government that the government does not give Channel 63 permission for, but they do it, and they aren't allowed to do it. So, in fact, the department in which the Channel 63 made those documentaries actually became its own little company, Project Incubus, which I quit my Channel 63 job from the old documentaries to go to this one, since I feel these are more truthful. But one thing I don't really agree with Jordan, also known as Jackson. He has the same stance as me, but he gets himself into a lot of trouble, which is a bad quality of him. He is the one who's always up front on Channel 63. He was in the last documentary as well, but he always stays on Channel 63. He snuck in secret governmental files, audio tapes, and many messages that aren't allowed to be produced and shown to the public, but he finds a way to put them in anyway, and he's been fired multiple times, but somehow he just finds his way back in. He's like the secret devil of Channel 63 Shonen News, which is actually very interesting. I keep on wondering how that works. And with that, the way I don't agree with him is that he is very biased against the government. He's been against the government since day one. That's why he always sneaks in a bunch of the stuff. He believes that the government will not go out of its way to get the truth to the public, even though back in 1963, when multiple outrages about the government being secretive, the government tried to settle that saying, we hold truth to the public. They did not follow up too well. I'm guessing recently they have shown a lot, like in the first broadcasting onto the main channel of Jeonosis, they showed a lot, but even then, Shonen had to show a bunch of secret audio tapes. So, we do not know. We don't know. All we know is that here, go back there, at Channel 63, things are not truthful. They do not want things to be shown. And we're just still trying to find out what those things are. I think Shonen, also knows Jackson, can help us with that. The history for how long Channel 63 has been garbling up information and spooting it out into the public from the news source has been going on for a long time, practically the beginning, back to 1979, only 2 years after 1977, which was when Channel 63 was established. You see, Channel 63 was your average little just channel. It would appear on the different televisions. You could go through it, you watch the news, watch some shows, and stuff like that. But then, Shonen News got bought out by the government, which, who knew this would garble up information? For 2 years, a lot of information was given. In fact, all insightful informations. Now, ever since that, information has been garbled and mistold. I find this very common when I go through the scripts. I write my own script and then they go up to me and say, hey, can you get rid of that part? Or something along those lines. Or if I go through all the files or all the servers, all the data history, I can find a lot of secret emails that have been given, that have been like discarded, deleted, just sent out to the junk servers, which there are a lot of them. In fact, we all know that one of the reasons that the entire bamboo story wasn't ever shown, that was promised a lot, it's because I tried to tell people about it, and I hired two people. They were kidnapped, and the footage was captured. It was live, sent to the studio, but the studio said, we can't have you send that. We can't. I'm sorry. And I wondered why, so I looked into it, and that's when I started figuring out, oh, they've been gobbling this stuff up for a long time. Because I realized that, hey, they don't give all the stories, and I got yelled at by one employee about sending stuff with the first one that was discarded, so I just snuck in one for the very first one. Now, a lot of people don't like my judgment, my bias against the government. It's not that it was there originally. I became biased against the government after I started investigating how they garble up the news, and they garble up information. They subtly strike fear to the public while making them look like the upper hand. They're slowly becoming America, something they sought to get rid of, and something they definitely promised not to happen. And it's funny is that even only in 1963, which was 14 years earlier when Jeonosis was created. Yes, I know it's 63, screw you. There was the Treaty of 63 that stated they must tell all truth to the public. How funny. How funny indeed. Who is Funk? Or, better yet, what happened to Funk? What is Funk? I feel like this needs to be more clarified because last time it was attempted to be clarified, Jeonosis Jackson didn't do very well. Shame on him. So I'm going to try this myself. We can date back the earliest recordings of Funk all the way back to 2016. This is the beginning. Now, how does one create a Funk? Funk was created by the genetic mix of just your average shonen and a really genetically modified version of the Hichi virus. Hichi is a genetically modified virus that effectively wipes out 50% of the brain and replaces it with its own actions, one could say. So, when this shonen was replaced with the highly advanced Hichi, this slowly had effects on him. It didn't just affect his brain, it affected the amount of hormones, the amount of growth hormones he was given from the brain to his body. It is almost scientifically impossible how much he grew. Within just a few months, he grew from 5'1" to 35 feet. And then you cut back to early November of 2017, he is now 55 feet. And then April of 2018, he is 175 feet. Now, since April to November, he's only grown a foot. So right now he stands at 176.4 feet. This is believed to be around his peak. He may grow or shrink about a foot or a half, or who knows, but this is believed to be his max height. So now, what happened to him? This is what really needs to be clarified. There is a journal of what happened This spans a couple of days, but this gives us the best insight of what happened. This is one of the only survivors who got to feel or experience the entire roundabout of the experience. We will play the recordings of someone reading it. Day 62. The Funk monster has an unusual obsession with red lights. His attention span goes blank when the red lights are around him. We've also decided to see how he does with nature. We put 2 pine trees and 3 crows inside the container. He seems pacifist towards animals and nature. The only way we can see how to make him aggressive towards targets is if we brainwash him or they actually harm him. We'll be trying to show him what more the real world looks like through a virtual visual experience. Once we get him used to the rest of the world, it'll be safe to get him tested for attacks in a testing field. And again, we still need to see what reactions he has to different tests. We'll be documenting his new actions. Maybe he'd be blessed under the hands of Necromantic. We ultra to the public. Day 63. We tried testing out some other reaction tests, but this one was weird. We decided to show him a couple set of pictures at first, just to see if he would react to different sights. The images are shown below. His reaction to the photos of disasters were sad and mournful, but his reaction to the creepy one was interesting. He seemed to show enjoyment from the look and feel of it. This inspired us to show him some distorted signals, to see what he would do with those. Here are the signals. He was horrified from the signals, and he started hitting the speakers to turn them off. We'll be testing him with more sounds to see other reactions. Maybe be blessed on the hands of Necromantic. Wheel trip to the public. Day 64. We opened the door to his chamber, and we saw him sitting, just staring. We tried to get his attention, but he would just start whispering. We thought something went wrong with the testing of the past signals, so we tried calmer signals he's enjoyed before. We gave him a good 56 seconds of distorted phone signals. He barely reacted. He didn't even have his signature Funk smile. We confronted the Funk specialist or Funkologist, and it said that he was tampering with the brain functions of different Hiji-minded shonens. He said he would start a fix, but he can't guarantee anything. We'll be trying to fix this issue, but he will soon be ready for the real world. One last fix, though, would be how he reacts with the hundreds of thousands of radio waves and frequencies going around. But that will be perfected sooner or later. Maybe be blessed on the hand of Necromantic. We owe you to the public. Day 65. He's acting mysterious. His pupils are widened and he responds to nothing. We tried everything. The things he hates, the things he loves. And the most we could out of him was a twitch his eye when we hit his toe. We have no idea what's causing this, but whatever it is, it's extremely dangerous. If it takes control of him completely and has evil intentions, we could be in some trouble. We'll keep him contained at all costs. We could be blessed under the hands of Necromantic. filtered to the public. Day 66. He's non-responsive. Nothing triggers a move. His brainwaves are coming out into a paper's Morse code. It translates to 166-0964-25-9-857-2619-084-860, which is his UCN, Universal Codex number. Whatever it is that has control of him, it's superior beyond comprehension. We've set the GFDCB, or the Gimian Development Containment Breach, to a full lockdown in case of emergency. We're keeping a very keen eye on him. May we be blessed under the hands of Necromantic, the ultra to the public. Day 67. We walked into the viewing area where the security cards were packing up, and he was tapping in Morse code again. But this time, he was typing this.
I'm not finished with Earth just yet. I'm not gonna go out with just being flung in a well. In due time.
We think that Jeonosis has possessed Funk, but we'll talk to Theorishan about that. We're going to contact the Supreme Decision Maker to inform him about this. May we be blessed on the hands of Necromantic, wheeled to the public. Day 68. The doors, they won't open. He tapped in Morse code. We proceeded to give him a Funk-sized marker. He wrote on the walls in binary code. This was the original binary code, which translated to,
The clock's ticking. I'm not done with this planet. In due time.
signed, Jeonosis. We all know that the only way we're going to be able to get out is by undoing the lockdown, ultimately releasing him as well. The message transmitter is acting unusual, so we stayed away from it. We've been living off the food in the vending machines and the rest of the food in the cafeteria. We sent distress signals out to the GRT. We got this error message.
Error. The action you've requested has run into an error.
We'll keep trying to contact the outside world, and we'll certainly keep Fook in here. May we be blessed in the hands of Necromantic. We owe it to the public. Day 69. Funk is starting to wrinkle. Jeonosis may be slowly killing him until we let him out. It's a risk either way. Lose our most valuable weapon and be weak in military terms and die, or let the most powerful demon escape in the form of the most powerful military weapon. No messages have been sent. He's just been waiting. If we don't let him out, we'll die, and he'll die too. The food supply is shortening. 2 shonens have already taken their lives. We will stand ground. We will not let him out. May we be blessed on the hands of... We owe it to the public. Day 70.
It took long enough.
Day 71. Cold, damp, anything but a smudgy, hot air containment breach. The doors open. The foggy woods of Tennessee were exposed. Everyone was gone. I checked to see if Funk was still there. Sure enough, the entire wall was blown up. I guess our work here is done until we get Funk back, which may never happen. Until the day comes, I will forever walk the earth knowing one thing.
That my work is not done.
Day 71.5.
Sorry, Father, if I had to do this. But though I hate you for what you've done, I still can't help myself to feel pity for how who you are. It's so easy. Too easy. I expected something better out of the same people who managed to throw me into the crucible of existence. Though I still feel remorse, it won't stop me from what I'm doing. Not even for a solution acts.
Signed, Jeonosis.